Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone in today's class for the first intermediate grade. Our textbook is Super Goal 1, and today we'll be learning expansion units from units 5 to 8, and our lesson is Chant Along. This lesson will be presented by me, teacher Mazen Al-Harbi, and the sign language by Mr. Saleh Al-Ajan. So let's begin. Our objectives for today's lesson: we hope that at the end of this lesson you will be able to repeat a chant and also to answer yes or no questions and also to identify new vocabulary items. Now, a quick reminder of our last lesson. Last lesson we had a writing exercise where we trained to write an email to our friend. And also we have different tasks in this writing. We said that we should choose a friend and circle the information that we want to include and also add any more ideas we would like to add to the table and write our email following Mark's email that we have read in this unit. So here we have an example of the table we had practice on for the last time. So here we have a couple of information on this table, and we said that we can use 4 to 5 information of these to write it in our email. Some of them like family. We said if you choose family, if you choose town, neighborhood, favorite food, you should put it in a mind map and you make questions out of each topic. For example, when you talk or when you choose a family, you must ask yourself this: what is your father do? Or what does your father do? What does your brother do? Or what is your brother doing right now? So here we have a couple of questions that you need to consider when you choose one of these topics. Also, one of the topics we have chosen as well, which is neighborhood. What are the facilities that your neighborhood has? And what are the places and if your neighborhood has a park or has a mall or has a green area. So all of these information are important to consider when you choose this topic. Also, one of the topics we have chosen, which is favorite film. And in this or in the previous unit, we have learned the different kinds of films. We said that we have a comedy films, we have an action films, we have a science fiction film. So you need to write about your favorite film to your friend. And also one of the topic we have chosen, which was hobbies. And hobbies, we mean by hobbies the activities that we do in our free time. What kind of activities you like to do in your free time. Also, the last one was school subjects. You like school. What is your favorite subject? What is the subject that you like to read its book and to do its homework and so on. So here we have chosen only 5 topics, and we agreed that 4 to 5 topics is enough. If you want to write one email, you can choose, even you can add more topics as well, and you can choose different topics other than these. And here we have the final example of the email we have written last time. And we said this email based on the topic we have chosen from this table and also based on Mark's email that we have read in this unit. So let's read, just a quick reminder, let's read this email and try to elicit some information, remind ourselves some information we have mentioned in this email. So the first one, we started by a greeting, hi Ali, and we said we have different type of greeting. We can start by saying hi Ali, dear Ali, hello Ali. After the greeting comes the main text, and the main text here we should include all the main ideas, all the main topics that we have chosen from the table. So it says here, hi Ali, I have a small family. There are just my parents and my brother. My father is reading a newspaper. My mother likes to cook. My brother works in a bank. I live in a nice and quiet neighborhood that has everything we need. So here, in this email, I have talked about 2 topics we have chosen from the table. I talked about the family and also I talked about the neighborhood. Also, we have 3 more topics from the table that I mentioned for the rest of the email. Let's read them. So here we have, I like going to school to learn about different things. In my free time, after I finish my homework, I like to watch comedy film because they make me laugh a lot. So here I have mentioned the last 3 topics. I mentioned that I like school. I mentioned my hobbies, which is to watch film, and I also mentioned what kind of films I like to watch, which is in this case a comedy film. And what comes after the main text comes the closing. Simple phrases that you put at the end of this email just to let the receiver of this email know that you are closing or you are ending your email. We have phrases like tell me more, waiting for your reply, write back to me. All of these phrases you can choose one of them to write your own email. Here I have chosen the phrase tell me more about your family, your neighborhood, and your interest. And at the end, I have wrote the signature. The signature is a phrase of 2 words, take care, or for example, best wishes, kind regards. All of these are phrases that we end them in the signature section, plus the sender name, which is in this case, Mazen. So these are the parts that we need to consider when we write an email. And also we have a couple of questions, an interesting question about yourself. And we said that when you answer this question, you will learn more about yourself. You will learn what hobbies do you like, what are the activities do you like, and also about the place you live in. A quick reminder of those questions. The first one, do you live in a quiet or busy neighborhood? What is your favorite hangout place, the place you like to go out with your friends? Do you have a lot of friends? Who are your best friends? Do you have any pets and what kind? What are their names? What are your favorite kind of films? What hobbies do you have? Do you play a sport and what is it? Do you collect anything? What do you have? So here are a very important question that you need to consider when you answer it, because it will give you a clear idea about yourself. And now for our lesson today we have a chant. And what do you mean by a chant? A chant is usually a simple song that people use to learn new words or new ideas about different topics. So our chant for today called My Neighborhood. And what exactly, if you remember, what do you mean by neighborhood? Very good. Neighborhood is an area where people live. And we have a previous example on what do you mean by neighborhood. We said that it's an area inside a city. For example, a big city like Riyadh, it has many neighborhoods. So this is what do you mean by the word neighborhood. And now we have a chant about a neighborhood. I'm going to read to you this chant and you follow while I read. So starting from the beginning, who is that walking down the street? Who is that getting on the bus? Who is that running in the park? Who is that sitting on the bench? That is me walking down the street. That is Ali getting on the bus. That is my teacher running in the park. That is my neighbor sitting on the bench. This is the neighborhood I live in. There are so many people I know. 2, 3, 4, 7, 9, 10. Everywhere I look, let me show you some more. Who is that talking on the phone? Who is that holding all this mail? Who is that laughing so loud? Who is carrying a backpack? That is Mr. Faisal talking on the phone. That is the mailman delivering the mail. That is my brother who's laughing so loud, and that is me walking to school. So this is the chant we have for today. And if you notice, this chant, or the first part of this chant, they ask question. And in the second part, they have the answers of these questions. For example, the first one was, who is that walking down the street? The answer of this question is, that is me walking down the street. Who is that getting on the bus? The answer is, that is Ali getting on the bus. Who is that running in the park? That is my teacher running in the park. Who is that sitting on the bench? That is my neighbor sitting on the bench. So here we have questions and answer in the same chant. And also here we have this chant is alone. This is the neighborhood I live in, and there are so many people I know. And here are the number of people he know. He know 2 of them, 3 of them, maybe 10 of them. He said, every way or everywhere I look, let me show you some more. Now he will talk more about the people he knows. So he is now asking question about the people he knows and also answering at the same time. So who is that talking in the phone? That is Mr. Faisal talking on the phone. Who is that holding all this mail? That is the mailman delivering the mail. Who is that laughing so loud? That is my brother who is laughing so loud. Who is carrying a backpack? And that is me walking to school. So here we have learned this, or we have identified this chant. It's a very interesting chant, a boy talking about himself, chanting about his neighborhood, talking to people, and he also describing the people and what are they doing. And now, let's have a couple of questions about this chant and try to answer them together. The first question we have is, we're going to read the meanings and we write down the words from the chant. So here, we have 7 meanings and we need to find a word that identify those meanings. For example, what do you mean by the word making lots of noise? Making lots of noise. If you recall that in the chant, he said, my brother who is laughing so loud. Laughing so loud, it means that everyone can hear him laugh. So the word here we said, or that describe this meaning, making a lot of noise, is the word loud. Also, number 2, the second meaning, something to sit on. He talked about something that he talked about his neighbor that is sitting on the bench. Bench is a place that we sit on, usually outdoors. So here we would say, we would use the word bench. A bench is a place, usually outdoors, that people sit in. So a place with a lot of grass and trees, what do we call a place that has a lot of grass, a lot of green areas? We call it a park. We call it a park, and usually we have some trees there. Something to put your books in. He said at the end of the chant, I carry my backpack. So number 5, a person who delivers mail. What do we call a person who delivers mail to the neighbors and to the different houses? We call him the mailman. We call him the mailman. Also, a place we learn new things. If you wanted to learn new things, we of course go to school, to university. Those places we learn from them new things. And also, there are cars on it. This is the first thing that is mentioned in this chant, which is a street. A street, usually cars is on the street. So here we go. We have 7 meanings and 7 vocabularies describe those meanings. Another exercise we have is a comprehension question. Here, based on this chant, we're going to ask yes or no question. And all you need to do here to answer either with yes or no based on the chant we have just read. The first one, the boy is student. He said, the boy in the chant, or the person who chanted, he said that that is me walking to school. and he is also carrying a backpack. So, of course, he is a student. And number 2, the mailman is drinking coffee. He didn't mention that, so here we're going to write no. He is delivering the mail. This is the job of a mailman. Number 3, the boy's brother is studying. No, he is not studying. If you remember, he is laughing so loud. And also, Mr. Faisal is driving a car. No, he wasn't driving a car. He is talking on the phone. And the teacher he saw in the park, what was he doing? He was not shopping, he was running in the park. And the last one, the boy's neighbor is sitting on the bench. That's exactly true. Yes, the boy's neighbor was sitting on the bench. So here we have the answers of yes or no questions about this text or about this chant. Now, work with a partner, ask and answer question about people in the chant and ask exactly what are they doing. Here we have an example. What is the teacher doing? He is running in the park. And you see how is this chant divided? The first 4 lines are questions. The other 4 lines are answer. So here we can choose a question and we can choose an answer and make more examples. Let's see now. What is the mailman doing? Based on the chant, what is the mailman doing? What is that holding all the mail? He is the mailman delivering the mail. So here we can answer and say, he is delivering letters. He is delivering mail and posts. Other question we can make here. What is Mr. Faisal doing? What is Mr. Faisal doing? He said, who is that talking on the phone? That is Mr. Faisal talking on the phone. So here we can say that he is talking on the phone. And we can have many more examples like this. We can ask, what is my brother doing? He is laughing so loud. What am I doing? I am walking to school. What is the neighbor doing? He is sitting on the bench. What is Ali doing? He is getting on the bus. So we can have more examples as we need. Here we have other example. What is the neighbor doing? He is sitting on the bench. So here we have on page 77 a very interesting discussion. What I would like you to do to work in pairs and describe what the people in the photo are doing and ask each other question on page 77. So on page 77, you will see an interesting picture where you have 2 men who obviously in a car, driving a car, and in the middle or between them, there is a boy. So we can ask or make question about each one of them. We can, for example, ask or make question about the man who is driving. We can say, what is the driver doing? We can also make question about the boy in the middle. We can say, what is the boy doing? And also the passenger who is next to the driver, we can also make question about him and we can say, what is the passenger doing? Let's see here more examples. Where is the boy sitting? Where is the boy sitting? He is sitting in the middle. The boy is sitting in the middle. We can also have another example. Is the father driving? Is the father driving? No, the grandfather is driving. So we have a grandfather, we have a boy, and we have a father. And all of them are in the same car. We can make as many questions as we like, either with a double-edged question, what are they doing, where are they going, or we can make a yes or no question. For example, started with is or are. For example, are they driving? Are they going together? Is the father holding the steering wheel? We can have or we can make as many questions as we like. So this is a very important discussion to make, and also you can have more discussion and more question on the same page that you may see in this one. Not only this picture, but also with other pictures. And now we have reached the end of our lesson. Thank you very much for watching. We have concluded our textbook Super Goal number 1. I'll see you with the next book, Super Goal number 2. Thank you very much again for watching. I'll see you next time.